Hi there, it's me again, your Lavanya. After a long time, I'm meeting you guys with the next verse, with the next holy text. We have already completed Unmai Vilakkam, which was one of the 14 Shastras. Today we are going to talk about, or from today onwards, we are going to talk about the second holy text, which is called as Thiruvarutpayan, which when you combine it, it is called as Thiruvarutpayan. We are going to discuss about this holy text. The author for this particular text is Umapati Sivam, who is one of the four gurus that we follow. We all know Meikanta Santanam. We know the lineage of Meikantar. Meikantar, he was the first guru, and after him came Arulnandi Sivam, who is his disciple, and Arulnandi Sivam's disciple is Marignana Sambandar, and his disciple is Umapati Sivam. Umapati Sivam created 8 holy texts, and today we are going to discuss about one of his book. It is the way how this book is designed is it has got totally 10 chapters, rather 10 titles. Each and every title has got 10 kural or the verses. The verses are written in a specific format which follows Tirukkural. We are all familiar with Tirukkural, right? It's one of the holy texts as well, and it has been translated in so many different languages, and this particular Tirukkural is well known to talk about the Tamilian lifestyle, or rather it is even today considered to be one of the greatest creation of Tamil Nadu. So, the same format of Tirukkural is being followed in this particular book also. The first line, there are the songs or the verses are written only with 2 lines. The first line will have 4 words and the second line will have 3 words. So, it's a very short verse that we are going to discuss, but this entire book discusses about Lord Shiva, and not only just talking about the praises of Lord Shiva, but this is a very logical book. So, which means we can ask questions, we can clarify our doubts about God, so on and so forth. I am not going to talk too much about the author here, because as much as we need to know about his name, I think we have a lot of resources to check on the history and how this text was created and all these. So, I am directly moving on to the very first verse, which is basically not one of the 100 verses that we are going to discuss about, but it is going to be the first prayer song. The prayer song, as usual, it is for Lord Ganesha, the elephant god. So, we are going to talk about that particular verse. Let's look at the verse. kunjara nannin kalai gnaanam karkum sarakkandru kaan. The god with an elephant face is called as Ganesha. He is considered to be someone who removes all the obstacles. That is the reason even today when you see school going kids, they always prefer to go and worship Lord Ganesha. If you guys can remember, today we are calling something as a super brain yoga, which is basically to hold the 2 ears, pull the 2 ears, and then we have to just do some kind of sit-ups. That is basically one of the exercise we have been taught to do in front of Ganesha for ages. And we will be doing this before we go to the school, and that actually increased our memory power, and that's why you see most of the time brilliant people, they follow this, or rather smart people, we still follow this. When I say smart people, I am not comparing with the world, but within our schools itself in Tamil Nadu, if you see some of the kids who are very smart, they would be doing this exercise in the morning because it comes as a habit. Now, let me go into the details of this particular song, this particular verse. So, Lord Ganesha is supposed to be the person who is going to remove the obstacles, right? So, what kind of obstacle is our guru going to have? Why does he need to worship to Lord Ganesha? That's a very logical question, right? So, there is a very logical answer for that as well. the guru is an enlightened person. So obviously he doesn't need to worry about the obstacles, and alas, he is not even going to have all these obstacles. Then for what reason are we having this? It is for us, the disciples, for learners like us. When we are learning this, we need to learn without obstacles. So his grace should be there for the disciples. When we are learning, we should not have any obstacles, and we have to understand the text in the right manner. That is the reason we are praying to Lord Ganesha, number one. The second reason is, this has been the tradition. We are not supposed to break the tradition. That is why they are talking about the verse, the first verse, which is basically assigned to Lord Ganesha, which is called as a prayer song. And the third reason is, whenever we are writing a book, or whenever we are starting with something, we need to basically surrender ourselves to the Almighty, so that when we move on, it is not going to have any negative impact on us. That is the reason why our guru has made this. So if as a disciple, when I decide to make a book or write some text, of course I need to follow the tradition as well. So he stands as an example. Walking the talk is more important. So he is walking the talk by making a beautiful verse for worshipping. And that is what the first verse stands. Once you worship Lord Ganesha, what are you going to get? That's what he says. Karkum, sarakkandru, kaan. You don't need to put in a lot of effort to read something or remember something or memorize something. Once you surrender yourself to Lord Ganesha, all this information in this particular book, in this particular text, will automatically be like in a jiffy, it will get into your mind. Just like that, it will be a breeze through rather than going through a struggle. That is what our guru is explaining in this particular verse, which stands as a worshipping Lord Ganesha, which is called as a prayer song. I'll come back again tomorrow with the next verse, which is the very first verse, and we will start our text, and this journey will continue for the next 100 days. We will pray the Almighty that all the 100 days we have to go in a very successful manner. I'll come back to you again tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.